All right, spooky season is upon us here at MiR Tactical. However, what's not spooky is the awesome good deals coming out from some of these airsoft manufacturers. And today we're going to look at one of those, which is the new 416 Competition by SEMA and Umarex. All right, so from before, the only way you're going to get a 416, especially 416 A5 from Umarex, because they have the license, was going with the VFC. Sure, you can buy a inexpensive Dick's Sporting Goods, plastic gearbox version, but this was the only way you were going to get a 416 that looked like a 416 and acted like a 416 A5. Now, the VFC model is amazing. Full metal, everything works awesome, full functionality, as well as VFC's awesome gearbox. But Umarex thought, well, if we make a metal version, why not make a polymer version? So people that can't afford the $500 and whatever dollars the VFC version is, if they like the same look and can deal with a polymer body, then why not give it to them? So recently, Umarex partnered with SEMA to produce an exact replica of that same VFC in a 416 A5 model with an entirely polymer body. But we're going to look and see, do you lose functionality? Do you lose performance? Do you lose everything that you get with the higher end version? Or is this SEMA built differently? All right, so let's look firstly at the build. So the build, entirely polymer. Now on a regular 416 from VFC, you still have a polymer stock, polymer grip. You still have metal pieces like the mag release, the bolt release, the selector switch, so all that's the same on this version, but the entire upper and lower receiver and the rail are polymer. Now, what's kind of interesting about this though is that pretty much all the functionality you get with the VFC you also get with the SEMA, so including a locking bolt catch with functional bolt release, ambi bolt release. You also get a polymer rotary hop up, so you get that like on the VFC as well. You get ambidextrous magazine releases, just like on the VFC, ambidextrous controls, dual sling loops, and the same A5 stock. Now, one improvement of the SEMA version over the VFC version has a very stiff backplate cover to get to your battery. But the SEMA version is actually very easy. It just slides right off and you have access to your battery space right here. So you're going to get the same battery space, however, it's just a little bit easier to take the stock pad off. So one of the other interesting features is that the VFC's backplate is entirely polymer, whereas the SEMA version is a rubberized plastic. So it actually gives you a little bit of cushion for the pushing, as they say. Other than that, like I said, everything works, functions, looks the exact same, except you're just getting a polymer. And they also have it in tan. Now, see, this is going to be one of the other differences, is that the tan version of the 416 SEMA is going to be more of like a peanut butter color, whereas the VFC is going to be more of a bronze color. So that's going to be the main difference between the two. Like I said, other than that, right now, externally, functionality-wise, everything is very similar, or like the butt cap, a noticeable improvement over the $200 more VFC metal version. Are looks everything? Well, they're not everything. This SEMA version of the 416 has a SEMA Platinum gearbox in it, so that's SEMA's slightly upgraded gearbox over their base version. So just like the VFC, you're going to get a quick change spring, quick-ish change spring. You still got to take the gearbox out. You're going to get an electronic MOSFET, and in this case, the VFC still uses manual trigger contacts, so a male piece into a female piece creates electricity, but has some protections through an external MOSFET. The SEMA version is a full mechanical or non-mechanical trigger, so you get potentially faster trigger response with the SEMA version. You're also going to get a SEMA high torque motor, and theoretically, with the hop-up being a rotary hop-up, even though it doesn't look as nice as the VFC, and a 603 brass barrel, you actually might get similar performance. So we're going to test some of these out and see, should you spend the extra $200 for the VFC if you can deal with the polymer over the metal, or do you have to have metal? Be that guy or girl and have to have the metal version, or can you settle or not settle, if you can look at it both ways, for the all polymer version with the SEMA gearbox, which has very similar and or slightly improved features of the VFC. All right, so one thing I did notice before we go and shoot this is that the VFC version actually has an empty plate right here, so you can actually mount your battery vertically if you want to. The SEMA, no go. Buffer tube or not, meaning that you can't shoot it. So you gotta put in the buffer tube. Fluid. It beeps. It beeps, that's the MOSFET. Beep, beep. I think that means start your engines. All right, let's see how this bad boy shoots with this optical. I think it's optical. It's a different type of MOSFET than the VFC. Let's just shoot it. See if I actually got aim. Probably not. There we go. All right, a little full auto action. That's enough of this PTS mag. All right, let's go look. I don't think we got a lot of flyers. I did have a mistake right here, okay? So don't worry about this. Anything below here, don't worry about. But at 50 feet, not a bad little accuracy spread. This was more so on full auto. Trigger felt nice and light. You can upgrade this gun. So polymer maybe for the win if you don't want to spend an additional $200 on the metal version. So I already gave the ending of this video away. You know, should you buy this? Well, here's the thing. You want metal? Buy the VFC. You go okay with polymer? Buy the polymer version, because I think they actually both perform similarly well to each other. They're both upgradable gearboxes. They all have the same functionality. They both feel nice. They both have everything that each other has except for the polymer version and a slightly different gearbox. But based on shooting this, it's kind of very similar to the same performance that you're going to get with the VFC. So, is metal really worth $200? Well, the good news is no matter which one you choose, the metal or the polymer version of the 416 A5, you can find them both at the lowest prices at MiRTactical.com. We'll see you next time for our next awesome review. Check us out, like and subscribe, and I think I'll say see you next time 6 times. Or, yeah.